Folks, Philly Boy J back here with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make beef stroganoff. Let's talk about the seasons that you're going to need. You're going to need some parsley flakes, some black pepper, some Worcestershire sauce, some garlic powder, and some salt. Those are the seasons that you're going to need to make the world's best beef stroganoff. If you can't find any fresh parsley, the parsley flakes in a bottle will do the job. Alright, so don't worry about not being able to find any fresh parsley. But I would recommend using fresh parsley. Tastes a little better than the parsley flakes. Here's what else you're going to need. Mushrooms. You're going to need some cream of mushroom. You're going to need beef broth, minced garlic, oil, sour cream, butter, a small onion, and flour. If you can't find any minced garlic or don't have any, use a garlic clove, chop it up into really small pieces. If you can't find any fresh mushrooms, you can use the mushrooms that come in the bottle of liquid. Make sure you get some egg noodles. What is beef stroganoff without the egg noodles? That's a part of the meal. So make sure you have some egg noodles. And a lot of people don't use green peppers in that beef stroganoff, but I do. I like the flavor that it gives it. So just for additional flavor, give it a shot. Use green peppers in your beef stroganoff. Only going to be using 1/4 green pepper, very small amount of that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get our steak. Alright, so I'm going to get a bowl. I'm going to fill it up with water, and I'm going to place the steak in some salt water solution just to clean it, let it soak. I love to clean my meats. I always do it. That's the way I've been taught. So I always allow my meat to soak in salt water or water lemon or water vinegar solution. If you don't have salt, you can use vinegar. You don't have vinegar, you can use lemon juice. But I always allow my meats to soak in some type of solution before cooking it. I want it to be clean. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt to the bowl of water. Going to mix that in. And I'm just going to let that sit for a little while. Alright. And while that's soaking in the salt water solution, what we're going to do is we're going to boil our egg noodles. Alright. And you don't want to overcook your egg noodles. A lot of people make a mistake and do that, and they come out really soggy and bloated and white looking and just ugh. Don't taste that good at all. So you're going to fill your pot up with water, and you're going to place the water over high heat. Shouldn't take long to cook these at all. That's why I cook them on high heat. I use half of the bag. Okay, so use half of the bag. You're going to give that a stir, and you're going to allow these to cook for about 7 to 10 minutes. Okay? And I'm going to give you an idea of how you want your egg noodles to look, because you want them to retain their texture and their color. And if you overcook them, they're not going to be solid. They're going to be really soft and limp and really white and bloated. And you don't want that. I recommend before cutting the onion that you set it in the freezer for a little while. Peel the skin off and place it in a bowl of water and then set it in the freezer. And you want to actually slice it down in half so that the water can kind of get into the onion, and it'll kill that strong smell that causes us to cry our eyes out. Alright? You want to chop them, and then you want to add them to the bowl. I love mushrooms in my beef actually I'm talking about I love beef stroganoff with mushrooms. I mean, it's not beef stroganoff without mushrooms anyway, so you gotta have the mushrooms. Okay, that's the way they should look. And we're gonna make the best, I said the best, beef stroganoff in the whole wide world. Now, by this point, your noodles should be done, and this is the way your noodles should look. You want your noodles to look like this. You want to drain them, and you're going to let them sit until we're ready for them. But this is the way your noodles should look. Alright, as you can see, they have that texture. You can see that they're still solid. You can see that they're not very fragile where they'll fall apart. That's the way you want them to look, okay? That's why I only boil you them for 10 minutes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my steak. But you want to chop the steak up into this size right here. You want it to be kind of medium small. But you don't want it to be too small. You don't want it to be too big. It's not going to look like beef stroganoff if you chop them into really large pieces or really small pieces. But you want to chop them up like this. Some people use ground beef in that beef stroganoff. I don't like using ground beef. But you can use that if you want to. That's the size you want it to be, about right like that, yeah. That size right there. And some people take the fat off. I don't take the fat off of my steak. As you notice, I did not remove the fat. You can see some fat on the side. You see it? See that white fat? The fat gives it flavor. Leave the fat on there, guys. You don't want there to be too much fat, but leave the fat on there. The seasons that we're going to use, like I said, are the seasons that we talked about earlier. I'm going to give you an estimated amount. You want to use about 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of pepper. 1 tablespoon of salt, teaspoon of garlic powder, and teaspoon of black pepper. You don't want to add a lot of black pepper to this. Okay? And Worcestershire sauce. I use about 1/4 cup of that. What is beef or steak without Worcestershire sauce? Whenever I'm making anything with beef or steak in it, I always use Worcestershire sauce. Always. To give it a nice beefy flavor. It ain't nothing without the Worcestershire sauce. Give that a stir. Blend the season in. And what we're going to do now is we're going to focus on our sour cream mixture. Okay? And I recommend that you use about, I want to say 1/4 cup, but you might need a little more than 1/4 cup. I'll say 1/3 cup. Use about 1/3 cup of sour cream. Start off with 1/3 cup. You feel like you need more later, you can add more, but start off with 1/3 cup of sour cream. You're going to use about 2 teaspoons of flour. Okay, so add that to the sour cream. 2 teaspoons of flour. And we're going to get our can of cream of mushroom. We're going to only add half the can. Don't add too much, just add half the can. Alright? Half the can. And blend that on in. Stir that in. Blend it in. I'm getting so excited, guys. Can't wait to show you guys the final results. Getting so excited. Okay? So that's the way your cream mixture is going to look. The flour is basically going to help assist in thickening up the beef stroganoff. The juice is going to thicken it up and create a nice gravy. Alright? That's what the flour is for. Get your pan. Alright? Get your pan. You're going to place your pan over high heat. And you want to add some butter to the pan. Okay? Place your pan over high heat. So if you have numbers on your dollar, put it on about 7.5 or 8. Alright? And you're going to add your vegetables that you chopped up earlier. Your green peppers, your onions, and your mushrooms. And you're going to stir that in. And we're going to just let that cook for about 10 minutes. No longer than 10 minutes. I'll show you guys how you want it to look. Alright? And we have to add our minced garlic to this. Like I said, guys, earlier, if you don't have minced garlic, you can just use a garlic clove. Chop it up into really small pieces and add the garlic clove to this. But I like the flavor that comes with the minced garlic. I always tell you guys that. Even in my oxtail video, my curry video, I just love minced garlic better than using garlic clove. A lot of people love to go with fresh garlic. People love to go the fresh route all the time. But minced garlic has like that juice in it. And it has a really good flavor. And it adds additional flavor to whatever you're cooking. It gives it more flavor than the regular garlic cloves. I don't like to use garlic cloves. Who feel like going through all that chopping anyway? So this is the way it should look. That's the way you want your mushrooms, your green peppers, and your onions to look. And I'm going to just sit that in a bowl until we're ready to add it back to the pan in a little while. All right. Don't that look good? This is going to be delicious. You're going to get that same pan and you're going to place it over low heat or low medium. So if you have numbers on your dollar, put it on about a 4. All right. And we're going to allow the beef that we chopped up earlier, we're going to allow it to simmer. Okay. Now, here's what I want to let you guys know. This is really, really important. I don't know what kind of steak you're using. You know, some steak requires longer cooking time. You have to cook it for a longer period of time so that it get really, really tender. But with this steak here, it's very important not to overcook it. You do not want to cook this more than 15 minutes. I say 20 at the very longest, because then it'll get really, really tough and it'll be hard to chew. You don't want to cook it too long. I'm going to add a little bit of beef broth, but you don't even have to add the beef broth, okay? Because it kind of creates its own juice, okay? So what you may end up having to do is drain the beef broth if you're left with a little too much juice after 15 minutes. So you're going to let this cook for 15 minutes, okay? If after 15 minutes you still have a lot of juice in it, drain that juice, okay? You want to add your vegetables, your mushrooms, your green peppers, and your onions. And you're just going to let this cook for 15 minutes. Like I said, if once you're done after 15 minutes, you see that there's still a lot of juice in the beef stroganoff, you can keep that juice there if you want. If you like yours to be really, really juicy and you like a lot of gravy, but I had to drain a little bit of my juice, because after 15 minutes when it got done cooking and it was tender, there was still a lot of juice left over. Okay, so that's the way my beef is looking. I gave it a taste. I saw that it was nice and tender. Okay, look at that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut the fire off. I cut my fire off, or you can just reduce it to low heat. And you're going to add your sour cream mixture. And you're going to give it a stir. You're going to stir it in really well. Make sure it's well blended, alright? That's looking so good. Isn't it, guys? It looks absolutely delicious. And you know I had to break this down step by step. Y'all know that's what I do, guys, right? I want to make sure that you guys get it. It's like cooking school. I want to be very specific in detail so you guys get it. But yeah, this look absolutely delicious, guys. And it tastes delicious. I wish I had some more right now, but I ate it all to myself. I did not share. That's how good it was. I want you guys to try this recipe out and tell me what you guys think. I think you guys are going to love this. This is my way of making beef stroganoff. I don't know how nobody else make it, but this is the way I make it, and it come out good every time. Everybody always love it. So give that a stir. And now we're going to plate it, guys. It's time to plate it. Show you the final results. We're going to add our egg noodles first. Add your egg noodles. And then you're going to pour that creamy, delicious beef stroganoff over those egg noodles. Look at that. Look at the onions. Look at the mushrooms. Look at the green peppers. Look at the sour cream and the cream of mushroom. Look at that beef stroganoff. I said I make the best. I said Philly Boy J make the best beef stroganoff in the whole wide world. Don't nobody make beef stroganoff like Philly Boy J. Nobody. I'll pay you to find somebody that make beef stroganoff like Philly Boy J. I'll pay you. I said I'll pay you to find somebody that do it just like him. Don't nobody make beef stroganoff like Philly Boy J. Nobody. Then you're going to sprinkle your parsley flakes over your beef stroganoff. If you have fresh parsley, sprinkle that over your beef stroganoff. That was too good, guys. Too good. It was too good. Look at that beef stroganoff. Just look at it. Absolutely delicious. Guys, the sour cream added. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. And with the cream of mushroom, the can of cream of mushroom that we added. Guys. Oh my gosh. It came out really, really good. The best beef stroganoff that I ever made. The best. Me adding that cream of mushroom. I just got creative with it. I was like, what can I add to this that's a little different? And I thought I might add some cream of mushroom to it. Just a small little can to see how it tastes. And it really, really took it to another level. Plus the green pepper. Adding the green pepper gave it additional flavor. And that cream of mushroom took it to another level. I hope you guys enjoy the recipe. Follow the steps, step by step. And I hope you guys like it. Tell me what y'all think. Tell me how it came out. All right? Peace.